The second stop in your financial aid journey is to familiarize yourself with contributors. Learn what is expected of a contributor and how you can prepare your contributors to participate in filling out your free application for federal student aid or FAFSA form. A contributor is anyone who is required to provide consent and approval to have their federal tax information transferred directly from the IRS into the FAFSA form and a signature on the form. You, the student, are considered a contributor. Other contributors may include your spouse, your biological or adoptive parent, or your parent's spouse, a step-parent. If your family member is identified as a contributor, it does not mean that they have an obligation to pay for your education. Whether someone other than you is determined to be a contributor is based on your dependency status, your marital status, and the way you file your taxes. When you fill out your FAFSA form, you'll be asked to provide your contributor's email address to invite them to your form so that they can complete their required sections. For dependent students, you'll need to invite only one parent to your FAFSA form. If a second parent is required to be a contributor, the first parent will invite them when they're filling out the FAFSA form. If you're unsure which parent you'll need to invite, use the Who's My FAFSA Parent wizard at StudentAid.gov/FAFSA Parent. This tool can be especially helpful if your parents are unmarried, separated, or divorced. Once invited, your contributor will receive an email with a link and a unique invitation code that they can use to access your FAFSA form and complete the required sections. We recommend that your contributor uses the email invitation to access your FAFSA form, but you'll also receive a unique link and code that can be shared directly with your contributor if needed. Important tip: each contributor is required to have their own StudentAid.gov account, so make sure you and your contributors have each created your own account before starting the FAFSA form. Consent and approval to have federal tax information transferred directly from the IRS into the FAFSA form are also required for all contributors. If consent and approval are not provided, you will not be eligible for federal student aid. Have conversations with family members who may be identified as a contributor to make sure they understand their role and to avoid any issues when completing your FAFSA form. To continue preparing for the FAFSA form, check out our next video in this playlist to learn how to set up your StudentAid.gov account. And remember, for additional information and answers to your questions, visit StudentAid.gov.